Hey everyone, welcome back. That's a little bit strange. Today's video isn't edited. Well, that's because I've been having a lot of people asking me on where I've been farming my Kuiper shards, gold and EXP and etc. So here's a farm that's not of my finding. I was told about this a while bit earlier today. We're still on stream now as well. Hey everybody, say hello. But yes, so this is going to be a raw upload on it. This farm that I'm currently doing is in the fortress zone up here. We're of course running it on hard. I don't think this is worth doing it on normal. But if you are going to do it on the upper section defense line, you're going to be farming this defense line outpost. So essentially how this works is, you probably noticed when the game came out that you could hack some of these before enemies spawned, and then when they spawned you could kill them. You'd have a little bit of time afterwards to keep hacking them, blah 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 blah. And then a patch shifted which made it borderline impossible to hack them for extra rewards unless you were using Sharen. But see, there's a side effect of the inflated enemy spawns that they did here. And now we can actually use those extra spawns to our advantage. The TLDR of it is like this. You basically go in, you kill all of the mobs, which forces a new set of mobs to respawn, and you keep killing them over and over and over again, and you leave the boss alone. Which means more enemies will spawn just as fast as you're able to kill them, because this type of mission does not have a spawn limit. Therefore, the more you kill, the more rewards you get, the faster you get EXP, gold, and Kuiper shards. Now, this farm generally can only be done with Bunny not with Bunny, with Valbys, for very specific reasons. You can do this solo, but it is not advised, and you'll see why once I actually get there. But I would normally advise running this with 2 Valbys minimum. 3 is preferred for a comfortable ease of use, but you can do it quite well with 2. 1 can risk you dying as well as not covering enough area, and the TLDR is her 3rd skill. This thing that spreads water around, your goal is to spread as much of this as possible on the outer area of where the enemies spawn, so that when they spawn in, they essentially get spawn killed. It's like the same type of idea as Bunny, but you want to be able to damage enemies even when you're not there. And as we can see, the ring is actually kind of big, and that's why Valby works so well, because she leaves a dot zone behind. Now, the reason why we don't use Bunny for this, because in theory it should work because you can just have 3 bunnies running around, is the boss that spawns for this has 2 phases and these extra balls that make him invincible. If you kill the boss, the farm gets fucked up because the outpost will clear. Now, Bunny's electric shock from her lightning emission is a sphere, and it can actually destroy the orbs of the boss and eventually kill the boss, but you still need enough damage to kill the trash mobs. So Bunny generally won't happen immediately, but has the side effect of eventually accidentally killing the boss, and you have to like forcefully disengage and reset the outpost to prevent this from happening, which works but takes more effort. So if you don't have Valby, you don't want a crafter, you can still do that, but this caters Valby a lot better, because essentially what you will do is build her for good cooldowns. Generally, if I can fit more range, this would be even better, because range affects how big her puddles are, so I can cover more area at once as I loop around, and because the puddles only last so long, the less area I need to cover per pass, then the better of a kill box I can produce. So you would want some damage, you don't need too high, and of course if you can fit some range on. This is what I'm using. Theoretically, I can probably drop that and slot on a range mod. The power modifier penalty isn't that bad because this has a power modifier of 138.5, but anyways, the one other thing I'd mention, of course, run your gold drop rate increase modifiers. I'm not running boosters on this. You can get like 300k plus without boosters, and just from here, you'll see very soon we'll do a run. And of course, I would recommend run an item acquisition distance increase modifier for your processor, because the way how the enemies die around this ring is too far apart for you to easily pick up all the time, and you will normally have to do 2 or 3 laps around to pick them all up because they're spread like horizontally across the width of the kill box circle. So a bigger radius on your pickup makes it easier to make sure you're getting all of your gold without missing anything. And by extension, all of your Kuipers and stuff too as well. So as you can see, I have 9.6 million gold right now. I just hit proficiency 40 on my sniper. And I'm going to reset this with a catalyst so that you can see how much EXP I actually get. And I'm telling you right now, it's a lot. So guys, let's head on in. And I'm gonna hold this one out and we'll see what happens. Are we all ready to do this? We've got 3 Valbys ready to go. I think it's time to show them how it's done. And basically all you do is just keep recasting. You want to make sure that you destroy these before the 1 minute timer runs out, but I mean that's really not that hard because they kind of just take the dot from Valby's trails anyways. You can see them losing health. So as long as they're all destroyed before the timer runs out, then the boss will spawn, and now you will have 3 full minutes to kill as much mobs as you want and as you can until the mission fails, at which the end of, you can see, there we go, we destroyed the last one and the boss spawns, and he's not going to die anytime soon because he's putting his balls up. But you will see how much gold and EXP and Kuiper that we get from this. So all we need now, and you can even do a little bit of dodging, all we need now is just kill the mobs that spawn in. They are now here, and you can see I already have gotten in the bottom left corner. My afterglow is leveling up pretty quickly, and we'll see how far it will end up being by the time this ends. So another advantage of running Valby here is you cannot be body blocked by anything, because her 3 travels through teammates, enemies, and like any, I guess, small objects. You're not going to go through a big object, but there's like a little obstruction on the ground. She just doesn't care. So this is very, very simple. I would say that it can be a little bit mind-numbing, but hey, if you want to watch a show or even play a second game at the same time, yeah, you can do that. And at least for stream, for me, this makes it very, very easy for me to hold a conversation with chat, reading up on chat. You will camp out your mods, I'd say, after about 25-30 minutes or so, so you will have to go back to Albion then and dismantle, and that's going to be another 300-400k Kuiper on top of whatever you farmed. This should solve all of your problems. If you wanted to know exactly how much you get out of this, I don't remember the exact EXP, but I'm pretty sure that you can max out a Descendant in 40 minutes or less doing this. Granted, I don't have any other Descendants level, so it's hard to say. I can only rank off of the weapons that I'm leveling, but Descendants only take twice as much as what a weapon takes. So if you can max out a weapon in about, like, 20 minutes or less doing this, which I'm telling you right now, you can, then that means you would finish the Descendant in 40 minutes or less. Gold-wise, it's roughly 10 million gold an hour, give or take 1 million, depending on how good you are at the gold pickups and whether or not you're running 2, 3, or 4 Valbys. But I'd say as a bare minimum, you should be getting close to 9 million, even if things are not exactly perfect. You'll see at the end of this on exactly how much gold I picked up. Granted, I was on the outside of the ring. Most of the enemies spawn on the inner half, so I should have been working on that side. And as you see here, let's go get one last round of pickups. Then we'll be able to see what actually came out of this. And of course, once you fail and it times out, then it will immediately begin again, so there's no time you have to wait at all. It isn't showing. Where is my... Okay, we were at 9.6. I'm at 9.9. So I gained roughly 300k out of that. If you don't believe me, you can go back to when I mentioned the amount of gold I had before we started this. But it is listed there. And it is a very, very, very fast gold farm. You get 300k plus essentially every 3 minutes so long as you keep picking up the stuff in the middle. If you are running boosters, it clocks up to just about 400k. So yeah, and as you can see, we destroyed the reactors faster this time to start the next part of the timer sooner, so this run is going to be shorter than 3 minutes. Otherwise, you can see here, my Afterglow is already level 15. It's literally been less than 5 minutes since I started this farm. So you can see that, well, it's a really, really good EXP farm, a really good gold farm, and also a really good Kuiper farm. I'm gonna exit out here. If you need to dismantle stuff, so long as you're outside and wait a moment, you should be able to mark them all as junk, and then dismantle them like that. And then this too as well. Make sure, as I said, to remember to go back to Albion after about 25 minutes, half an hour or so, because you will be capped out on mods. But that's pretty much it. That is the defense line outpost farm for EXP, Kuiper, and gold. Thank you all for watching. A like and a subscribe always goes a long way to helping out the channel. And, well, I'll see you all in the next one.